For years, China ruled the electric revolution with a steady, silent hand. No one dared challenge it, and rightly so. 95% of lithium iron phosphate batteries, the famous LFPs, come directly from its factories. Furthermore, 85% of all global battery cell manufacturing capacity is concentrated within its territory. It's as if every electric car on the planet carries a little piece of China in its energetic heart. But behind this apparent power lies a hidden fragility, a vulnerability that, if touched, could topple the entire empire like a house of cards in the wind. What seems like an insurmountable wall is actually supported by a shaky foundation. Chinese dominance has been forged over years with more than $50 billion in government subsidies since 2015. This has created a kind of artificial monopoly, with Chinese companies occupying 6 of the 10 positions in the global battery production rankings. However, this power has an Achilles heel: lithium itself. There are only 51 million tons of reserves in the world, and 70% are concentrated in 3 countries. If one of them stumbles, the entire market feels the impact. Now imagine the following scenario. 90% of global lithium refining also takes place in China. It's not just the raw material that's there, it's the process, the know-how, the equipment, and, most importantly, the bottleneck. A single trade conflict, diplomatic tension, or a supply chain disruption could bring the entire world to a standstill, literally. And there's more. For every kilowatt-hour of lithium battery produced, approximately 2.2 tons of CO2 are emitted. For those who believe that electric cars are the planet's ecological salvation, this figure is disconcerting, to say the least. Given all this, a question began to bother those behind the biggest strategic decisions. Is it safe to build the future of electric mobility on such a scarce, polluting, and geopolitically sensitive element? For many, the answer was still, yes, we have no choice. But for others, this was a clear sign that a break was urgent. And among these figures, Elon Musk stood out not for playing along, but for preparing a new board. While the market was betting on lithium as the only way out, Musk began to look at another metal, aluminum. The idea seemed absurd to some, but it made perfect sense to those who understood physics, supply chains, and geopolitics. Aluminum is not only the third most abundant element in the Earth's crust, but it can also be mined and refined in dozens of countries outside China's sphere of influence, including the United States. This meant strategic independence. It also meant affordability, accessibility, security, and a new path to the energy future. Instead of trying to beat China at its own game, Musk decided to change the rules. And that's exactly what began to happen in Tesla's secret labs. There, far from the spotlight, a proposal for an aluminum-ion battery was born, promising to break free from lithium's constraints. A technology that no longer depended on cobalt, mined in inhumane conditions, nor on nickel controlled by monopolistic mining companies. The project, until then shrouded in rumors and sporadic leaks, began to take shape in prototypes applied to the Model 2, Tesla's most affordable car. A model that would not only cost less, but also carry the promise of energy sovereignty embedded in its DNA. The motivation behind this went beyond market share or profit. At stake was the ability to continue innovating without constraints, to avoid dependence on foreign governments, to make electric vehicles truly sustainable, in every sense of the word. Tesla understood that the risk of remaining under the control of such a vulnerable supply chain was too high. The solution needed to be bold, real, and affordable. And aluminum seemed to be the key to unlocking this new path. When talking about electric car batteries, most people automatically think of lithium. Understandably, this chemical has dominated the industry for decades. But what if the real hero of this story is a metal everyone knows but few take seriously? Aluminum, found in soda cans, household items, and even laptop cases, may seem too common to lead a revolution. But it's precisely this simplicity that's changing the game. It's 3 times lighter than iron, 100% recyclable, among the most abundant elements on Earth, and, most importantly, can be found on American soil. This changes everything. The advantage starts right at the base. While the world has just over 22 million tons of identified lithium, aluminum has over 700 million tons. A stark difference. And it doesn't stop there. The aluminum extraction process is already widely mastered, with ready infrastructure and production in over 50 countries. Unlike lithium, it doesn't depend on politically unstable regions or logistics monopolies. This eliminates uncertainty about price, scarcity, and geopolitical control. With aluminum, energy autonomy ceases to be a promise and becomes a tangible path. But what makes it such a promising choice for batteries isn't just its availability, it's its performance. Aluminum-ion batteries are faster, safer, and more efficient. In laboratory tests, these batteries were able to recharge up to 3 times faster than lithium-ion batteries, with lifespans exceeding 15,000 cycles, something lithium can only dream of achieving. While a lithium battery can last between 1,000 and 3,000 cycles, an aluminum battery delivers a longevity of 2 decades without significant degradation. That's enough time to see your car retire before the battery does. What's more, they're virtually fireproof. Aluminum poses no risk of thermal runaway, the phenomenon where the battery can literally catch fire. For families concerned about safety in the garage or on long trips, this is a game changer. Their operating temperature is also impressive. From 50° Dax to plus 150° Dax, these batteries maintain performance without fluctuations. This means they work perfectly in extremely cold or hot locations, without the need for expensive and complicated cooling or heating systems. Another point that raises eyebrows is cost. While the price per kilowatt-hour of lithium batteries hovers around $150, aluminum can lower that price to $50, a 75% drop. This directly impacts the final price of electric vehicles and makes the dream of an electric car accessible to many more people. With less weight, more performance, greater durability, and reduced costs, aluminum isn't just an alternative. It's a completely new value proposition, one that challenges everything the industry has believed to be standard until now. And while the initial cost is already lower, the cost over the car's lifetime plummets. Lighter batteries require less effort from the engine, which means more range and lower energy consumption. This translates into lower electricity bills, less component wear, and fewer service visits. Not to mention, because they're made from recyclable materials, they generate less electronic waste and can be reused almost indefinitely. For a generation increasingly concerned with sustainability, this is a powerful argument. The structure of Tesla's new batteries makes the most of aluminum. The modular design allows for flexible shape, better heat distribution, and more intelligent integration with the rest of the vehicle. This opens the door to innovations in vehicle architecture, such as batteries that adapt to the chassis or are distributed under the floor without compromising interior space. More than a technical advancement, this is a reinvention of how cars are designed and manufactured, and all thanks to the simplicity of a metal that has always been before our eyes. Reducing the price of an electric car has always seemed like a near-impossible mission. That's because the silent villain lies precisely in the most vital part, the battery. This alone represents between 30% and 40% of the total cost of an electric vehicle. To give you an idea, in models like the Tesla Model 3, this component can cost between $10,000 and $20,000. And then comes the question, how can we make an electric car affordable for the average worker? The answer begins to emerge when we look at aluminum, not as an alternative material, but as a game changer in the EV price structure. With the new aluminum-ion chemistry, the battery manufacturing cost could plummet from $15,000 to around $3,750. This drop isn't just significant, it's disruptive. With it, the final price of the Tesla Model 2 could be around $17,195, according to internal estimates. And with U.S. tax incentives, this figure could drop even further. We're talking about a Tesla cheaper than a basic Honda Civic, a car with cutting-edge technology costing less than most combustion-powered vehicles available in dealerships today. But it's not just the raw materials that are making the process cheaper. The simplified structure of aluminum cells, combined with local production capacity, drastically reduces logistics, labor, and energy costs. Because these batteries are lighter and require fewer critical materials, factories can produce more in less time and space. Reports suggest Tesla could achieve up to 10 times higher productivity per square meter of factory space compared to current production lines. This means a steady stream of affordable vehicles coming to market. Aluminum's lightness brings another direct benefit. Lighter weight means greater energy efficiency. This translates into longer range, better performance, and less wear and tear. The Model 2, for example, can reach over 400 km on a single charge, even with a smaller battery. This saves Tesla money on production, and consumers save on their energy bills. Reduced weight also makes transportation easier, improves drivability, and reduces maintenance costs, creating a positive spiral of real and noticeable savings in everyday life. Beyond economy, there's speed. Aluminum batteries recharge much faster, in less than 10 minutes, according to the most recent tests. This solves one of the biggest obstacles that still keeps many people from electric cars: waiting times at charging stations. With the new battery, charging the Model 2 can be as fast as filling up a gas tank, and this, combined with the low cost and extended durability, transforms the consumer experience from something limited and expensive to something practical and viable. Practicality also extends to durability. A 25-year battery means owners won't have to worry about expensive replacements or the car's loss of value over time. This further reinforces the Model 2's appeal as a car for life. It's not just cheap up front, it stays cheap throughout its lifespan. In investment terms, it's like buying a car and forgetting it requires expensive maintenance. For many consumers, especially those with lower incomes, this is the difference between dreaming and actually owning it. And that's where social impact comes into play. An electric car with this level of price, performance, and economy opens the market to millions of people who were previously excluded from the energy transition. Young people buying their first car, families on a tight budget, retirees living on a fixed pension, they all now have a real chance to enter the world of EVs without debt, without leasing, without gimmicks. Tesla, with the Model 2, puts the electric car where it should have been all along, within everyone's reach. If the lower price opens the door, it's the technology behind the new battery that completely transforms what it means to own an electric car. And what Tesla is developing isn't just a different battery, it's a new energy brain on wheels. By integrating intelligent components like self-healing electrolytes, clustered power distribution, and self-regulating thermal layers, aluminum-ion batteries have begun to gain a new status, that of living infrastructure. They not only provide energy, but also learn, adapt, and protect themselves. Energy intelligence has become part of the car. Self-regenerating electrolytes are one of the jewels of this new architecture. Instead of degrading over time, they have the ability to reorganize themselves internally after each charge cycle. Imagine a battery that, instead of aging, rebalances itself. This ability drastically reduces performance loss and extends the cell's lifespan. Internal test data indicates 97% retention of original capacity even after 2,100 complete charge cycles. In practical terms, we're talking about batteries that last over 25 years of use with virtually intact efficiency. Another advancement is modular energy distribution. Unlike conventional batteries that release energy evenly, Tesla's intelligent clusters distribute the charge according to the vehicle's actual demand. If the car is at low speed or at rest, only some modules are activated preserving the others. On hills, overtaking, or stretches that require more power, the clusters activate as a group, adapting to real-time usage. This reduces wear, optimizes consumption, and extends battery life. It's as if the system itself breathes according to the driver's rhythm. Self-regulating thermal layers also bring a silent revolution. They eliminate the need for complex and cumbersome cooling systems, common in lithium-ion batteries. This makes the car lighter, more efficient, and less dependent on technical interventions. Furthermore, the risk of overheating or explosion virtually disappears. Stable operation between 53 degrees and 150 degrees means the car can operate in extreme climates without extra effort. From the Arctic to scorching deserts, this battery simply works. And it doesn't stop there. The charge density achieved by the redesigned aluminum batteries reaches peaks of 1,000 kWh at certain laboratory peaks. This means full recharges in minutes, something that until recently was considered science fiction. The average time to charge a 50 kWh battery can drop to less than 5 minutes. This not only eliminates the concept of waiting time, but also redefines consumer behavior. Charging the car becomes a short break on the way, something integrated into the routine, not an obstacle. From a structural standpoint, the soft pack architecture used in the new cells allows for unprecedented malleability in vehicle design. Instead of large, rigid, heavy modules, the cells can be molded to fit the available space. They adapt to the car's floor, the shape of the cabin, or even currently underutilized areas such as doors or dashboards. This frees up more interior space, lowers the center of gravity, and improves crash safety. The battery is no longer a heavy box, but rather part of the vehicle's structure. Sustainability also gains a new chapter. Aluminum can be recycled indefinitely without losing its properties. This means that, at the end of the vehicle's useful life, the battery itself can be reused with 95% efficiency. And because the recycling processes are cold, without the use of acids or high temperatures, the environmental impact is minimal. This transforms the battery life cycle into a closed ecosystem, something no lithium battery has been able to achieve to date. While the world's eyes were on Tesla's massive factories in Texas and Nevada, a nearly invisible operation began to come to life in the most inhospitable corners of Alaska. There, amid the extreme cold, the Cold Forge 1, a factory designed not just to produce batteries, but to redesign the entire logic of industrial manufacturing. The idea behind it is as bold as it is simple: to take advantage of the region's natural cold to cool the aluminum-ion battery manufacturing process. This drastically reduces electricity consumption and eliminates the need for cumbersome refrigeration systems. And when it comes to energy savings, every degree below zero counts. The impact of this decision goes beyond thermal efficiency. By utilizing renewable sources such as geothermal energy and local hydroelectric power, Cold Forge can operate with near zero emissions. In contrast to factories in China,